Many people have the misconception that when an orchid is done blooming, it's done. That's not true. It'll bloom again if you take good care of it. And part of taking care of it is giving it a monthly feeding of orchid-specific food. I like to call it a fertilizer bath. I like to mix it with some water because I want to be able to let the plant sit in it for a while. I'm actually noticing as I'm taking my orchids out of their pots today that they might need more than just a simple feeding. They might need a lot more TLC. I'm going to carefully separate the orchid bark from the roots, and I'm going to decide which roots are healthy and good and which roots are looking super sad and need to be clipped off. Using a clean pair of scissors, I'm snipping off any of the shriveled or super soggy roots that aren't firm and green. And there's a surprising amount of them, unfortunately. Once I've removed all the roots I'm not liking the look of, I'm going to try and get the whole root ball into this container of water and plant food and just let it sit for a while. And while that one's sitting, we're going to go ahead and look at another one. This orchid also is going to need some of its roots trimmed off, so I'm just going to carefully do that. And it too will get to sit in, we're going to call it the fertilizer bathtub. Oh, wow. I didn't realize this one was packed in, I guess they call it like the moss that they put orchids in instead of the bark. I really don't like this. Orchids really like open air. They like to be able to breathe. I don't love it when they do this. Okay, got a haircut. After it's done with its haircut, it's also going to get to take a dip in the tub. I bought a brand new bag of orchid bark, and unfortunately, this bag didn't let you see inside of it. I would never have bought it. The pieces are way too big. There's these giant chunks of perlite and charcoal. I don't know. I'm just not loving it, but I don't want to waste it, so we're going to use it. Now I've gotten curious and decided to check on some of these newer orchids I have that are in full bloom right now. And I am super disappointed to find out that the pots they came in are not great orchid pots. They don't have many holes in it. And already I can tell the roots are like wanting to rot right away. So it is also going to get a haircut. And now I'm going to attempt to give this super jankety drainage pot more holes. I've also decided I'm going to start spraying the roots with the hydrogen peroxide water mixture. Here's what we set out to do. Once a month, my orchids get a fertilizer bath. They get to sit and soak in the fertilizer water. And then I also take a glass and I pour the fertilizer water mixture all over the plant. I don't want to repot this one entirely. It looks a little delicate, but I am going to take an ice pick and add more holes because once again, they have put it in a completely holeless plastic container. I mean, there's some on the bottom, but typically orchid pots have holes all around the edges, the sides. And now I'm going to show you where I like to keep my orchids. My orchids love being in this window. So any of the orchids that are in bloom typically hang out in this window. They get indirect light, but a lot of bright light. And the orchids that are being rehabbed, they're going to get a lot more bright light. And I want them here so that I can remember to check on them and water them when they need it.